Coach, congrats on the win there to go 4-1 on the weekend. Just over thoughts on the game.
I thought we played better. We're still working towards night softball. Love how he came out. Sarah Willis coming out, perfect 4 innings. Everyone else is probably thinking, what the heck are you thinking, Coach? But we set a plan before the game, and we're going to stick to it. We have a lot of good options and arms, and we need to get time for everybody and figure out who works well with who. Because the opponents we're going to play in the rest of the season, we're going to need more than just Sarah Willis. And I think she really understands that. And I told her that. I said, thank you so much for being you, because you're a way better person than myself. Because I wouldn't have understood that. So, but just to get rolling with that, the offense is not, I don't think it's as explosive as it could have been. But we situationally put balls in play when we needed to, and that was what really excited me.
What'd you like about the bounce back that the team was able to put the loss behind and maybe learn something from it and then rebound?
Yeah, I think it's huge. When we had less than 24 hours, I applaud them for doing that. You know, it's tough. They wear it. You know, we had such a great weekend, but still everyone's thinking about that one loss. And that's what's going to happen with this group, because they're highly competitive, highly talented, and they care about each other in this program so much.
What were your thoughts on the team's overall defensive performance this weekend?
Awesome. You saw some people in some different places. And so for our middles to play the game that they played this weekend without Jazz in there right now has been awesome. Defensively, behind the plate, Ashley Griffin, we're just kind of resting her, giving her a little break on letting her hand heal a little bit there. And I thought all three catchers did a really good job back there for us controlling the game. So defense wins championships. We say that all the time. So does offense too. But I think the pitchers are starting to get into a groove, and the defense is kind of figuring their timing and rhythm out with them.
Sona has had a bit of a rougher week. What do you talk to her about these next couple of days?
Yeah, it's crazy because, we see, you can see what she has. It's different. Right away she gets in there and the ball zips in, you're like, ooh, all right, Sona's in. It's different. But pitching isn't easy. I don't care who you're throwing to. You have to do so many different things. How you're spinning the ball, what location you're throwing it in, what direction is it going? Are you throwing it on the plate? Are you throwing it off the plate? There's so many things to think about. And so once she starts to get into a groove and really trust herself, watch out. And I'll put her in there again. I'm not afraid to. I know what she has. Sometimes we just have to get out of our own way, and that's okay.
Ava Justman, a couple appearances, solid outings, hadn't pitched since 2022 in a real game action. What did you see from her in these 2 days? And kind of, I'm sure, a pretty big week for her to get back in it after not pitching last year.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you tell them to keep it simple, but there's a lot of emotion and stories around everything. And so seeing Ava do what she did, coming out, she's worked really hard. She stayed here over the spring and trained all on her own. Not only the winter, and trained on her own, and didn't really take any time off over that December, January time. So, and it shows, her velocity's up, her command is really, really nice, and now getting the movement to continue to keep going is what she's been working on. So I'm really proud of her. I'm proud of her guts to, come back, like you said, after a year and a half off is not easy. And she's fun to watch out there, how she connects with the defense.
Shannon and others have said that they were tired of playing against their teammates.
Yeah.
They were ready to face an opponent. What did you see from the team in the emotions of opening at home and big crowds and all the expectations and just playing against somebody else?
Yeah. No, it was definitely nice to play against somebody else. Ironically, I'm still going to put this on them. They play tougher and more like ourselves against ourselves, like against that, and it's been the toughest competition that we faced as ourselves. But I think, the first night we came out, we did our thing, and then when you start to look around and go, oh, this is where I am. I think we started to do that a little bit, and we'll start to get into it. We'll get comfortable and settle in, but I still think we're not just like taking the polar plunge into the icy cold water, and that's totally human because these women care about what we're doing. They want to succeed so much, not only for the school, for the first year in the Big 12, but for their coaches and then each other. So it's, I tell them not to be emotional, but how do you tell somebody not to be emotional? And that's, humans are emotional. So we're just going to continue to work on being passionate and have tons of passion for what we're doing. And I'm telling you, you haven't even seen this scratch the surface of who we are, because I've seen it day in and day out in practice, and we're still playing like with leashes on, basically. I don't know. I think I have 2 dogs, so like when I let the leash off and they go crazy, that's what I'm waiting for. But I'm not saying our women are dogs, but yeah.
The way you built the schedule, you have 5 games in 4 days. You've got a quick turn from a night game to a day game, and now you've got a couple of days off. How do you think all of that comes together to help them as the season moves on?
Yeah, I like that we have 1 day of practice to prepare before Liberty, but I think what we need to do is just jump back in, on the saddle and get back in games, so that we start playing and just being ourselves. Taking breaths. You're seeing us like swing at pitches early, and we're normally a team that takes a little bit more, sees pitches and deeper counts, and so I'm excited for us to just get back there and do that, and then have another practice day before we go out to Clearwater. So I think it's timed out pretty nicely, and it makes me feel really good that we didn't have to overpitch anybody this weekend, and still got a lot of dubs.
Did you learn some things that you got a lot to study now over
Yeah.
these 5 games?
Yeah, I did. I mean, about us for sure, and then I really only focused on us this weekend for the most part. I think now I can start to focus a little bit on scouting the opponent a little bit more, because I know what I saw from us and what we're going to get. I mean, but you talk about, look at our freshmen, our second baseman, Sammy Ray, and Cece Humphreys and Kylie Strott. They didn't really look like freshmen out there. So that's exciting for me to see that, everyone's pushing each other. So I did learn that we can handle those moments. And then some of our vets, I think they want it so bad. So we're just going to continue to keep playing loose.
Of course, you got your parents here, family, going to watch the Super Bowl. You're all Californians. You're rooting for the Niners. Aubrey's like campaigning here. Miss Brock Purdy over there.
Okay. Well, my son is a Kansas City Chiefs fan. We have to read Patrick Mahomes' book every night. So I cannot say anything else except for go Chiefs. He's listening. He's watching right now. No. Yeah, I honestly have never really paid as much attention to football until this past year. I know all the players now. I know where they went to college, because my 2 oldest sons, they love it. So they were actually both decked out, I think, in Vikings gear and Chiefs gear. So Justin Jefferson's a big one in our family too. Yeah. The gritty. We do the gritty after everything.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.